Listen to this. This is Jarabe Tapatio, excuse my Spanish, or more popularly known in the West as the Mexican hat dance song. It's been used in countless shows and movies to represent Mexico, like in
Or is it I guess I'll keep singing? My cell phone appears to be ringing.
But how did this song come to be used to mean Mexico, and what makes it sound Mexican? So the name of this song, Jarabe Tapatio, points to its interesting origins. So the last part, Tapatio, meaning someone or something, that originates from Guadalajara, the capital city of Jalisco, Mexico. And the word jarabe means syrup in Spanish. If we think about syrup, it's a mixture of water and sugar. So to use the word jarabe here refers to how the song's made using a mixture of different songs. So the song Jarabe Tapatio means songs from Tapatio, or songs from Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico. Songs that have been around in that Mexican region for hundreds, if not thousands of years. So any jarabe song is essentially just a song that strings together a bunch of melodies from traditional Mexican folk songs. One research paper I found in Spanish exploring the origins of Jarabe Tapatio cited melodies from 11 folk songs being stitched together to create Jarabe Tapatio, like the song here. Sounds kind of similar to Jarabe Tapatio that we heard earlier now. But how did Jarabe Tapatio come to be known as the Mexican hat dance song? So Jarabe Tapatio was not only a song, but also a courtship dance, originating from Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico. It's a type of Mexican folk dance where pairs of men and women seemingly express their romantic affection toward each other. It originated in the 18th century from traditional Spanish couple dances like fandango and seguidillas that were way more uptight and rigid, and done to rhythmic Spanish folk music with barely any touching, like. But they started to evolve in Mexico, a Spanish colony back then, mixing in more syncopated and sophisticated rhythm brought from Africa with slavery at the time, with way more physical touching between the couples done to Mexican folk songs for the overarching jarabe dance form. So cool. Though in the late 18th century, the jarabe dance was banned by the Spanish Catholic Church, citing suggestive pelvic movements and flirtatious interactions between men and women as being morally offensive. But it actually backfired, and jarabe then became a secret mechanism for political protest, with underground circles gathering, plotting government overthrow, and doing the dance in solidarity, making it a symbol of Mexican nationalism. But a specific jarabe dance and song, Jarabe Tapatio, jarabe from Jalisco, Mexico, that I showed at the beginning of the video, became really popular globally in 1919 when the famous Russian ballerina Anna Pavlova visited Mexico and fell in love with specifically Jarabe Tapatio, treating it with as much respect as for classical European ballets. And with that, in 1920, the Mexican government, seeking to reunify the nation after a long bloody civil war post-independence from Spain, declared Jarabe Tapatio the official dance of Mexico and shortened the accompanying song to a more accessible 2-minute 30-second version. Not just that, but in the 50s and 60s, with the popular Mexican folk ensemble Ballet Folklórico de Mexico's tour of America, especially their performance at the 1962 Seattle World Fair, where they played Jarabe Tapatio, the song got cemented as the Mexican hat dance song in American pop culture, referring to the climax section of the dance when a guy throws his hat onto the floor and the couple dances around it. Now enough history. What makes the Jarabe Tapatio sound Mexican musically? The biggest reason lies in the rhythm. It uses what's known as a triplet rhythm, commonly found in Spanish and Latin music. It might be easier to just show what's going on versus making it more confusing with a long explanation. So most modern Western songs more or less use a straight rhythm, like. Here are some examples. Triplet time rhythm in Spanish and Latin music feels more like, which on a song sounds like. Sounds much more Latin and Spanish feeling, and that sort of triplet rhythmic feel is also often accentuated during performances of the song using what's known as zapateado, or essentially Mexican tap dancing, where they do a syncopated rhythm with their feet to jarabe, like. Has even more of a Mexican flavor now. And another really important element that makes this song sound iconically Mexican is the instrumentation, with their use of what's known as the mariachi band, a traditional Mexican music ensemble featuring violins, playing the main hook of the song, and trumpets, harmonizing and doubling on the hook for that big Mexican sound, then a small 5-string guitar known as the vihuela, doing the background accompaniment, and finally a large bass guitar known as the guitarrón, joining the guitar with a simple jumpy rhythm for the standard Mexican folk sound. So cool. A final element that makes it sound so festive, not necessarily only used in Mexican folk music, is the use of what's known as the major scale. If you watch my other videos, I mentioned this concept before too, but basically, a major scale is made up of 7 notes. And to put it simply, if we play a melody using notes from the major scale, it's gonna sound quite happy. Which is what a melody for the Mexican hat dance song does for the most part. Helps too that it's played with a trumpet, which is known to have a bright sound, not to mention the jumpy rhythm too, for a lighthearted, cheerful vibe. Now, an important thing to call out here is that in Western culture, when people say Mexican hat dance, they're not only referring to the song we've been discussing all along, Jarabe Tapatio, they also refer to another popular Mexican folk song, the raspa, which you might recognize too, that goes like... La raspa is a social folk dance from eastern Mexico, versus Jarabe Tapatio we've been talking about, which again is a courtship dance. Unlike Jarabe Tapatio, La raspa is not the official dance of Mexico, but it's become really known in the West as another prominent Mexican hat dance, due to it being taught in American schools starting in the 40s and 50s, with its relatively slower and simpler dance moves versus the Jarabe Tapatio's fast, intricate feet rhythm. So in Western countries like America, the Mexican hat dance actually refers to a made-up song that strings together both the simpler La raspa, followed by the more complex Jarabe Tapatio that goes like... And in America, it's also common for schools to add custom English lyrics on top, have the kids sing along, kind of acting as dance instructions. The lyrics just kind of further enhance the stereotype. And depending on the context the song is used in, the lyrics also change, like...
I dance, I dance, I dance, and that's the end of that. Or is it? I guess I'll keep singing.
So fun. Highly recommend checking out the full Jarabe Tapatio song, since it's made from stitching together over 9 Mexican folk tunes, as discussed in the beginning. There's a lot of interesting twists and turns, not commonly heard on the Western Mexican hat dance song version, that just kind of takes the first minute or so of the song and loops it for simplicity. It's so cool that such a seemingly short, simple song has such a rich history and came to screen Mexico, even more so than the Mexican national anthem itself, at least globally. Check out all the videos on my channel to learn more about hidden sounds, melodies, chords used in pop culture that, once you become aware of, just cannot help but notice everywhere. And comment down below your favorite musical themes or what videos you might want to see next. This video idea also came from several comments on my recent uploads too, so really appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks.